Hey guys and girls, welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat here on this first Sunday of May. And black behind me is a completely full Twin Eagle Lake. Absolutely completely full, above full as a matter of fact. We're having to clean the spillway out every day because all the trash and logs and brush that gets clogged up in it. And but the lake has gone down quite a bit. You can take a look out there in the yard and see how much higher it was. It was a lot higher. Got a couple videos showing you some things up close and showing you exactly what happened down here during the tornado. The tornado did a lot of damage in Sulphur, which is just 10 miles north of here. Came right over the house. Right over the house. Didn't damage the house at all. I am getting a little leak somewhere. I had some water leak. The drought is officially over in southern Oklahoma, over in almost all of Oklahoma, as a matter of fact. Flood warnings out just about everywhere, including here. And the Big Canyon Lake, I've got some video of that also coming up here in a day or two. That Big Canyon Lake is about a foot of being completely full. Completely full. We can use the boat ramp over there right now, which I do plan on doing some this week. Probably only one day. Probably all I'm going to have time to fish. But I do have one day scheduled to fish. And so when you schedule a day to fish, you go fishing. That's exactly what you do. When you schedule a day to fish, you go fishing. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, is going fishing. But we had a great week this week. We were not here when the tornado happened. The tornado happened last Friday night. And we were here, Chris and I were here till about noon. I took Chris over to Sherry's Friday afternoon and left 5 o'clock the next morning, going to Missouri to turkey hunt and fish, which we did. Actually turkey hunted 3 mornings. I got to turkey hunt 5 days this year. That's 5 days more than I've turkey hunted since Chris had her stroke back over 3 years ago. So it's been 4 years since I've been turkey hunting. And can I tell you, I think I lost my touch. I thought I was doing pretty good because the very first day that I turkey hunted, I actually turned down a nice gobbler, and we'll have some video on that. And but it was a little bit small body-wise. It kind of had about an 8-inch beard, maybe 9-inch beard. I turned that down. The beard was kind of thin, and we got incredible video of that. And I was having a lot of fun with that bird, so I just became buddies with him, and did a little conservation there, and did not take the big gobbler, but I did get one later in the day. The next day, never heard a gobble. Never heard a gobble. Not a single gobble all day long. That was in Texas, and hunting with my friend Craig Whitt, a preacher friend of mine, a great friend. And then like I said, I took Chris over there, and so we drove to Missouri, and we hunted in Missouri Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. A couple of days we hunted all day long. Well, one day we hunted all day long. Another day we hunted until about 2 o'clock. And then went fishing, caught a lot of fish. You're going to enjoy seeing that. Caught a lot of them on that little crappie magic. You know, I've been talking about that little crappie magic crankbait. Not the crappie magic jigs that we catch crappie with, but the crappie magic crankbait. Crappie crankbait. And caught quite a few fish on that, as well as, what do you think? Red man spinnerbait. That's exactly right, a red man spinnerbait. And just had a ball doing that one afternoon. But the birds in Missouri were gobbling really, really early in the trees, and maybe a little bit once they hit the ground, but then you never hear a gobble the rest of the day. I mean, all day long, never hear a gobble. One day I hunted all the way from way before daylight until 7 o'clock in the evening. 7 o'clock in the evening, and you can hunt all day in Missouri now. You can hunt until sunset, which is about 8-something this time of the year, and I probably should have stayed the other hour, but didn't. But I hunted. But I didn't get a bird in Missouri. And now, when I was really turkey hunting hard, hunting many days a year, I felt like a good turkey hunter, an excellent turkey hunter, not a good turkey hunter, an excellent turkey hunter should be able to take a gobbler for one every 2 days that he hunts, and he or she hunts. And so if you hunt 10 days, you should kill 5 gobblers that year. Now, you obviously have to hunt more than one state generally to do that. I don't know. I think Alabama may. At one time, they had a 5-bird limit. I don't know if they got that now. Texas got 4 birds in most counties. But so you had to hunt more than one state. But let's say you hunted 8 days. 8 days you should, you should, because not many people do it, but a really good, excellent turkey hunter will take 4 out of 8. Well, I took 1 out of 5. So that'll tell you what my skill level was. And certainly I probably was a little deficient, not efficient, but deficient in my turkey calling, which it probably just wasn't nearly as good as it needed to be. But I had a good time out there. Fought a lot of ticks around my body, and I probably have 1 or 2 stuck in right now, I imagine. Wouldn't be a bit surprised. But had just an absolutely great time out there in the woods. Just an absolutely great time in the woods. So I got back, checked my blood pressure, and it was like 119 over 76 or something like that. So that'll just tell you, if you go fishing and hunting, your medical situation is going to get better. Your blood pressure is going to get better. I know your blood pressure gets up high when you get a strike on a red man spinnerbait, or you see a big old gobbler come strutting through the woods and hear that gobble, and your blood pressure gets up. But let me tell you, fishing and hunting is good for your blood pressure. Good for your blood pressure. So anyway, we had a great time. I've got one day to plan to fish this coming week. We got a lot of work planned this week. Doing a lot of cleanup here on the ranch. We got a lot of things that. A lot of trees down around the house here, a lot of cleanup to do around the water's edge, and have to continually work on that spillway. I probably will maybe drive down there hopefully tomorrow and let you take a look at what that spillway looks like. We haven't totally investigated that spillway all the way down up around where it comes out of the lake. It held up real good. Concerned about water getting down underneath that concrete is what I'm concerned about, because the water was running completely over the spillway. Spillway is 4 foot wide, 5 foot deep, but then the water was running completely over the top of it, and about 40 feet on either side of it, and 2 or 3 or 4 foot over the top of it. So lots of water was rushing out of this lake, and so it's the first time ever, honestly, that it's gone over the emergency spillway like that. But the one thing that we have in the emergency spillway now is we have the regular spillway built into that emergency spillway. So we certainly don't want that to go out, or then we probably will be in trouble again. If something happens there, we have not nearly as much to rebuild as we had to rebuild the last time, but probably still quite a bit to rebuild, and we sure don't want that to happen, because that was 2015, so that's 9 years ago. The lake is mature now, got a lot of big fish in it. We caught a lot of big fish out of it, caught a lot of medium size, caught a lot of small ones, and I'm just tickled to death to be able to fish in this lake. It's a blessing beyond imagination, as a matter of fact. And going to get to fish one day this week. Might fish half a day here and half a day over at Canyons, and we can put it on our boat ramp now. We'll show you that too before the week's out. We've got quite a bit to show you in that regards around the ranch. Some amazing things happened in Sulphur. I did a little video which I put up today, just telling you a little situation there at our church. Be sure to watch that video, because it just shows you how good people are in the United States of America. All the bad stuff we've been seeing, and college campuses covered up with protesters, hating Israel, hating America, hating Jews, hating people that I guess was a different color, a different nationality, or a different religion for them. That's not America. That's not America. That's a small handful, even though it looked like 400 or 500 people. Most of those college campuses that it happened on had 30 or 40,000 people in that campus. So most of the kids were not doing that. And most of the kids don't believe that. Most of the kids don't hate America. But you got to realize that kids are being indoctrinated and taught in school from 4 or 5 years on up through college. Certain political ideologies. They are taught also religious ideologies or anti-religious ideologies, just depending on whatever kind of teachers and professors they get. But pretty much they're taught a certain political ideology, and it's really kind of bad. But you can see it manifesting itself out there in the colleges right now. And but that's really not what the majority of Americans are about. The majority of Americans are good, honest, hardworking people, particularly in our part of the country. Now, you get on the East Coast, West Coast, I admit it's totally different. These countries are not the same on the East Coast, the West Coast, as they are here in the middle part of the country. And I've got a lot of friends on the West Coast. I've got a lot of friends on the East Coast, all those states. And the people that I run around with, hunters and fishermen, they're people just like we have here in this part of the country. But they have a lot of people that live in those areas that are not like that too. So, but we got a lot of good people all over this country right here, and we got a lot of people that are living their life correctly. We've got a lot of people that love America. We got many, 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 many people that'll die for America. Many already have. We know that. Well, many more will. So watch that little video, and you'll just see how good people really are here in the middle part of the country, here in Oklahoma, and not just Oklahoma. People come from all over this country. Franklin Graham came here this week and brought his Samaritan's Purse, which is an organization that our church supports. Billy Graham's son, and they're still there. Their vehicles are still there. Their buses and trucks are still there. They're still up there working, helping the people of Oklahoma. And they come from all the way over there, and I guess they're headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina, where Billy Graham lived. And but we support that organization. We put a goodly percentage of our offering that we took today at Midway Hills Baptist Church goes to help people that were affected by the tornado, and a lot of people were affected by that tornado there in Oklahoma. A lot of them right here around us. My buddy Greg Leonard up here A couple of his big warehouse buildings had suffered a lot of damage, a lot of flood damage inside. Literally, probably hundreds of thousands, if not into the millions of dollars worth of product destroyed inside of his business. He's got a great business and had no doubt how many million parts in that building. A little town just south of us here, Dixon, was hit by a couple tornadoes. Marietta, again close by. Holdenville, which is not really in this part of the state, hit by a tornado this last week also. May is the worst tornado month in Oklahoma, so we're just starting into the tornado season. I grew up in Moore, Oklahoma, so I've been seeing tornadoes ever since I was a little bitty boy. And we certainly respect them. We certainly realize the damage they can do, but we just build things back and build them back bigger and better, and that's what we'll do in Sulphur, Oklahoma too. Sulphur, Oklahoma is a long way from being devastated. The early reports were sulphur's gone. It's not. But the part on the east side that was damaged was severely damaged. Our national park, which is a beautiful national park, there lots and lots of people came to that national park. We have bison there. We call them buffalo here in Oklahoma. But we have buffalo there. We have lots of deer. We have beautiful picnic areas, beautiful trails, beautiful water to swim in during the summertime, and one of the best national parks anywhere in the world right there in Sulphur, Oklahoma. Tremendous amount of trees down, but by the time the people come here, probably for Memorial Day weekend, they might have a difficult time telling how torn up that national park was, because they've got crews of men up there now. You drive by now and all you hear is chainsaws. Crews of men and women in there working, cleaning that park up, and we'll have that park back beautiful again, just like a national park here in the United States of America is made to be like. It's the time of the year to catch a lot of fish. They're beginning to bite topwater, depending on where you are. Up north, they're beginning to move up shallow. Down the south, they're biting topwater. Our water temperature is up in the 70s and 80s, and in most all of the south. And you catch fish just about any way you want to catch them. They're biting spinner baits really good. We have flooded conditions all over the south now. Spinner bait. Red man spinner baits. Order more red man spinner bait. That little spinner bait will whack them. Shad spawn's happening in a lot of our lakes. Again, the best bait to fish on shad spawn is probably a white spinner bait, 3/8 ounce red man, or a blue and chartreuse spinner bait. A buzz bait works really good too. A buzz bait works really good, and a frog, a white frog. Another good bait to throw during that shad spawn. Shad spawns happen early in the morning, so you got to get out there at the break of day and find where those shad are spawning. But look for them early in the morning. They like to spawn around grass. They like to spawn around boat docks. It just kind of depends on the type of lake that you have to fish where those shad will be spawning. But there's always bass around that shad spawn. And if it's a lake's got a lot of fish in it, you'll find schools of bass around that shad spawn. Exactly a perfect place to fish this time of the year. Like we've got a lot of appearances coming up in May. The very first one will be this coming Tuesday. That's right, day after tomorrow. I'll be at the Walmart in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. They're having what they call a lube rodeo. There'll be some antique cars there. I will be there with my brand new Shell Rotella boat. I've been trying to keep it new for these May appearances. I haven't even got it wet yet. I've been fishing out of my old Ranger boat. I need to put that boat up for sale. I do have a couple Ranger boats for sale, by the way, if anybody's looking for a Ranger boat with very low hours, totally 100% rigged out to the max, and you'll save about $20,000 or $30,000 below the price of buying a new one. So I've got a couple, 2 or 3 Ranger boats for sale, but I'll be putting another one up for sale. I'll be putting my one that I'm fishing out of right now, but I'm keeping this for these appearances. This appearance at Sand Springs, I'll be there. The store opens at 7. The event starts. It'll be back in the lube area, back in the car care center of that Sand Springs Walmart store. I'll be getting up there probably around 9 o'clock, somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock, and I'll be there for several hours during the day. Be taking pictures, signing autographs, visiting with people, doing whatever. And the Lube Rodeo is a great big event. It's a Pennzoil event, Pennzoil, Quaker State, and obviously Shell Rotella. And so it's a big event there, and they got live music. Well, I say they got live music. They got music. I don't know. I may be singing. That may be their music. But they got music out there. They'll have some food out there available, and it's a great deal. They're having these all over the country in various Walmart stores. I will be participating in another one up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I think they have 3 stores up there. I think the store that I'm at is the one on Lima Avenue. I'll be there on the last day of the month. That's a Friday, May 31. Friday, May 31. I will be in Marquette, Michigan. That's right, Marquette, Michigan. I think week after next, I believe. Not positive, but it'll be the grand opening for the new L&M Fleet Supply. L&M Farm and Fleet Supply there, and those are great stores. There's that chain's a small chain, privately owned, only about 25 or 30 stores, I think. They're big, beautiful farm stores, incredibly great farm stores. And I will have my boat and truck again out in front of that. We'll be parked in front of that store. We'll be there for the 3 days of the grand opening, which is, I believe, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't have the exact dates on that. We will post those a little bit later on. But if you live up there anywhere around that Marquette, Michigan area, plan on coming by and visiting. I'll have my boat there, be answering questions, doing any kind of fishing talk that you want. There'll be a lot of things going on there. My buddies from Milwaukee Tool will be there, and also from DeWitt Tool. I'm pretty sure they'll be there giving demonstrations with some of the new electric power tools. They'll be having free hot dogs probably, or free hamburgers or something. They'll have sales that are just absolutely unbelievable. I didn't hardly have any room to put anything in my truck or boat because the sale items were so good there during that weekend. So that's to be a great weekend. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'll be there all 3 days of that. So you want to be sure to miss that. Don't miss that. I think that's week after next. If you're anywhere within 100 or 200 miles of Marquette, Michigan, you want to go down there and go to that store opening, because it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And then the last day of the month, that's May 31. I think it's on a Friday. I'll be at the Walmart store on Lima Road, or Lima Street, Lima Avenue. I think it's Lima Road. I think they have 3 Walmarts there in Fort Wayne, but I'll be in the one on Lima Road for another lube rodeo for Shell Rotella, Shell Pennzoil, and Shell Quaker State. And so be sure and be around at those appearances. I think I may have another appearance or 2 in May, but I can't remember what they are right now. But we'll be doing our crawfish boil and putting our crawfish in the lake here come Memorial Day weekend, so we're looking forward to that. So May is a fantastic month. Graduation, congratulations to all you kids that are graduating from junior high, high school, college, or graduate degrees. Great gift for any of those kids is our Catch a Better Life daily devotional book. What a great gift. Inexpensive, I think for $17 or something like that. Very inexpensive. You can get them at jimmyhouston.com, or you can get them at Barnes & Noble, Hobby Lobby, Books A Million, Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's. If you want it personalized and autographed as a gift item, if you order them from us, I'll be happy to do that. Just let us know who you want it autographed to. It is a great time of the year. You look around, you look at the mountains are green, the trees are green, the lakes are full all over Oklahoma right now. Not just my lakes, but all the lakes are full around Oklahoma. Fishing is absolutely dynamite. Get out there and enjoy the outdoors. Stop at your local Bass Pro Shop store. Get everything you need right there. And remember, I sure do love you.